What's up, guys? So, Mondays, hashtag Whimsdom session. Here it is. Again, many apologies. The whole day yesterday, I thought it was Sunday. That happens to me a lot, actually. It's kind of funny. It's one of the things that makes me seem sometimes like a flaky human being to friends and family is that I legitimately won't recollect what day it is in the moment. Like, I'll remember dates of stuff, but then when that date rolls around, I won't remember that it's that day. So that's what's going on there, and I apologize. To me, it's hilarious, but I know it is inconveniencing, so I do offer a genuine apology for it. But here we are now on Tuesday, and I have a really important question that was sent to me, and it was, how do you handle SADS, or SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder? And I've talked about it a lot in the past. Pretty much every fall, I think I talk about it. And it affects a lot of people. And especially other outside people don't really get this, but especially the people that are obsessed with this season, with the whole holiday season, like fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then New Year's, the whole season. And that's because there is so much escapism. And those who are really impacted, hey babe, talking about SADS today. Tell me a little story below if you get affected by seasonal affective disorder, because I'm about to give you my top 3 tips. I even hate calling them tips because it kind of cheapens what seasonal affective disorder really is. Hey Jade, Melissa, but my top 3 tips for combating SADS. But I derailed myself. But yeah, really those of us that really get affected by it, and it surprises other people that it's those of us that are obsessed with the holiday season. It's because the holiday season offers so much beautiful, whimsical, wonderful, healthy escapism. Although sometimes it turns to food. That's not very healthy, but you know what I mean. But healthy, whimsical escapism for our seasonal affective disorder. So even though we're battling it out through these darker months, we're so appreciative of the holiday spirit. So if you meet someone who is like a Christmas freak, they probably battle with SADS every single year. And it's probably really, really deep. And everyone battles with it for a different reason. Sometimes it's compounded by tragedies that happened during that season. Sometimes it is simply the loss of others and them not being there during that season. And sometimes it's literally just the chemical imbalances that happen and the gravitational pulls that happen. I know you guys felt last night, like, holy shit moon. That's what they should have called it, the holy shit moon. And just all of the things that this season brings and the imbalances that occur and just trying to keep up with that. And also just the legitimate, when you feel cozy, when you wrap up in sweaters and it's cold outside and there's less sun because it's always overcast, I mean, you're going to have drops in all of your feel-goodery receptors. So let's talk about it. My 3, Melissa says yes. I saw, I feel like that was the headline of one of your live videos, Melissa, like you had a plan for SADS. I would love to, if you want to kind of give us a little briefing of your plan, text it below. That would be amazing. But guys, these are my 3 tips for SADS if you battle really hard with seasonal affective disorder. Number 1 is, the 3 categories is realness, strength, and whimsy. Whimsy, I love my whimsy. But the realness is that you've got to get comfortable with being with yourself. And as people pleasers, if you are in this group, you are most likely, or think you are, a people pleaser. And being alone with ourselves, even introverted people pleasers that are like, no, I love being alone, I love recharging, but being actually alone with your thoughts, that is something that kicks seasonal affective disorder into your damage spiral, into your thought process spiral. And being uncomfortable with being alone is something that people pleasers are truly gifted at. Like, we've spent our whole lives trying to fit into a mold for other people, trying to put everything that we feel we need and is true on the back burner to make other people happy. And we've just deafened ourselves to what we really need. Our bodies, our minds, our souls have been like screaming to us from the balcony, and we're just so good at that. And so really being comfortable with being with ourselves and on a much deeper level than like much deeper than like meditation. You're like, okay, I'm here for 10 minutes. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can control my thoughts for 10 minutes. Damn it. Is that the dryer? It's okay. You know, it goes so much deeper than that. Actually being okay with your own presence, being okay with all of the feelings of guilt that might come up, all of the feelings of shame that might come up, all of the feelings of, oh my gosh, I'm going to read that in just a second out loud, Melissa. But yeah, all of the feelings that we bury with our day-to-day addiction of people pleasing, all of the shit that we're trying to keep contained with our day-to-day affliction, our day-to-day addiction of people pleasing, because that's what we're doing when we people please. It's not just that we want to be loved and liked, but we need the love of others to help us bury the shit that we don't want to look at for ourselves. And now I'm not saying at all that like if you have seasonal affective disorder, you just don't like yourself, but really getting comfortable with yourself. And a way to do that absolutely is finding a self-love practice for you, finding what actually makes you feel loved. For some people that's shopping. For some people that is having a morning routine where you have your you time, or you're sitting with your cup of coffee or your cup of tea and you actually get to reflect, maybe writing in a gratitude journal. For some people it's working out. For some people it's yoga. Yoga's amazing, okay? Like body meditation. For some people it is meditation. But making sure, and it is even harder, so you have to focus even harder during these months, but making sure that you are doing that self-love practice, that not something with a goal or a priority like that, but an actual self-love practice that makes you feel like you and everything about you are on the same level for a little period of time, you know, because that's what we feel like when we get into the zone when we're meditating, when we're in that hot bubble bath, you know, when we're enjoying that cup of coffee, we feel for a brief moment that we're on the same plane. All of our anxieties and everything, that crazy bitch that sits on our shoulder, all of our guilts and our shames and everything, we feel like we're all on the same level, and we're all just like, oh, can we just sit here for a minute and appreciate how amazing this life is and how amazing we are, even if it's just fleeting. But that is the magic of self-love, is getting to that little place where everything's on the same level and you don't feel like you're battling it out. You don't feel like you're four different people, all with different opinions and different goals and different agendas. So making sure, and it's so hard during this month, but making sure that you are dedicating every day to getting in that self-love practice, because that self-love practice is what's going to get you closer and closer to alignment, what's going to get you closer to feeling good about yourself, what's going to get you closer to being like, you know what, it is actually okay to sit with myself. Now, we all know that sitting with ourselves, and this is also the reason that most, especially people pleasers, avoid, and we start to freeze, you know, that freeze pattern where you're like, I had my shit together, and all of a sudden I stopped doing all the things they knew were good for me. When we freeze in our self-love patterns, usually comes around these months anyway, and sometimes it's as simple as we have all these things we get to distract ourselves with. But the underlying reason for that is that we know when we spend time with ourselves, that's like inviting the possibility to take a downward spiral. That thought spiral, it's like opening the door for it. And most of the time, that fear in us that wants to just protect us from the world, that fear is like, maybe we don't do that self-love thing today. Because remember last night you ended up just crying and drinking half a box of wine? Maybe we don't do that today, you know, and it's, your fear has a point, but avoiding what being uncomfortable with your own self is going to do is it's just going to make you even less able to handle it. And you don't want to get to where you can't handle yourself. No. We're on a journey to help the world handle us. We don't need to not be able to handle ourselves. So really, that first one was realness. This one is strength. And this is going to be taking back your power in that thought spiral. And remember, we talked about it before, is the what's next method that I gave you guys. What's next? I created this for my clients, and it's just something that's so simple and so non-judgmental and has no like levels of fuckery. And it's just, what are you going to do with the next 10 minutes of your life? And there's no bad choice or good choice. There's just positive energy and negative energy. Negative not meaning bad, just meaning the actual opposites of energy. And sometimes you're going to make the positive energy choice that helps ramp you back up. Sometimes you're going to make the negative energy choice. And that's okay. That is okay. And just being aware of it for the next 10 minutes that comes around, that's going to make all the difference in the world. Okay? So really practicing that what's next. So the first step being realness, the first step, whatever, being realness and being real with getting comfortable with being with yourself. And then strength, taking back your power in your thought spirals, really implementing that what's next, that 10-minute philosophy. And then the last one, whimsy, hashtag whimsy. That's going to be when you, and I don't want to say the word lose or like lose the battle with your thought spiral, but when you end up, when you try to take your power back and you just don't manage it, because some days you're not going to, right? Some days you're going to end up crawling back into bed. Some days you're going to end up drinking that half a box of wine. Some days you're going to end up eating that half of that cake or like whatever. Some days you're going to be like, yep, didn't work. I lost. And that's what it's going to feel like. So when that happens, because it will, and that's okay, as long as you're trying, okay? It's just like if you were like training to be some massive athlete, when the injury happens, because it will, because you're a human in a meat bag. But when that happens, whimsy, the final tip, you've got to pick the escapism that's going to actually nourish your soul and your inner child. There's nothing bad about escapism. Escapism can be a beautiful thing that actually turns everything off and helps you settle into alignment. I mean, if you think about it, sitting with your cup of coffee in the morning, looking out into the sky, not doing a damn thing, just being with yourself, that's a type of escapism, and it's beautiful because it actually nourishes something. So pick the type of escapism that's going to nourish your soul and your inner child. So again, it's hard because the reason that we jump down that thought spiral is because we start believing the guilt and the shame, whatever's coming up for us, we start believing it. And the self-worth gets lower and lower and lower, and we start believing that. So it's really hard to make the choice when you're like, fuck it, I'm not going out today. You start taking your fucking earrings off and you're like, I'm just going to tell the girls I can't make it. Whatever it is, when you give up on the day because you're just like, nope, I'm not strong enough today. It's going to be even harder to make this choice to go for the whimsy escapism because you don't think you're worth it. But know that you're worth it. Know that something that actually nourishes you. So maybe it's coloring. Maybe you like coloring. I know my mentor, he loves playing with Legos because it actually like soothes the inner child in him, because the inner child in him loved Legos, right? And we never think about that as adults, but it's something so beautiful, and it's still escapism because you're still not doing the laundry, or you're still not going out with your friends, or you're still not doing the stuff that you were supposed to be doing, but it's an escapism that's actually helping something else. Okay, that's actually nourishing another part of your body. That's on a tiny wavelength telling your soul and your body and your mind, you're worth it. That's the difference of picking the whimsy escapism rather than picking the self-destructive escapism. Because the self-destructive escapism is like, yep, I'm destroying you because you fucking deserve it. Rather than, we're doing this fun stuff because you deserve to be supported and loved and secure and safe and feel safe. So those are my 3 tips: realness, strength, and whimsy. Let me go through. I really want to see. Melissa was so amazing too. Why isn't it letting me? Let's see. All right. It is not. That's a bummer, you guys. It's not letting me click the see more. Son of a bitch. So I can't read. Melissa, I can't read your thing because it won't let me click on the see more thing. But now I'm completely intrigued. And the second this is over, I cannot wait to read this. Lost my mom in February. Oh, Melissa, I am so sorry. I am sending you all my love, absolutely. And always became sad when fall arrives. This year it's so much harder. You're becoming depressed even quicker. And that's where it cuts off for me. And then coffee at 6 when no one is up, and you can have 5 minutes of peace and clarity. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Melissa, if you ever want to talk about this, you can absolutely message me. Also, remember, this group is fundamentally for those of us that need this safe space and need this help. So if you ever feel like posting in this group and getting some support, you absolutely can. Don't ever feel like you're alone, okay? Don't ever feel like you're alone. So Melissa, I hope that these 3 tips helped. And if you want to message me and talk about them further, maybe we can figure out something that's like really specific to you and your lifestyle, and maybe what your inner child likes. I would love to talk to you. But you guys, thank you for popping on today. I know it's a day late. You definitely, thank you, babe. That really, it means the world to me. It means the world to me. I knew for a long time that I had a way of being able to explain things and being able to help people reach an understanding with what they were battling with. And I've had that gift for, since my youth, and I never knew how to put it into play till now. So you saying that means absolutely the world to me. Thank you so, so much. But yeah, you guys, these sessions, we do them every Monday and Friday. And of course, it's complimentary in this free group. If these sessions, if you feel like they would strike a chord with someone that you know and love, share them. Absolutely share away. And also, if you feel like those people need to be in this group, add them, or ask if you can add them, because that's weird to like just add people without their permission. Ask if you can add them. If you have questions, if you have anything that you need help and guidance with, then you can absolutely message me. Send me a private message with your question. It will be featured on the next live #Whimsdom Q&A. And always, if you catch these live, you can always pop in the comments and ask questions and participate in these, or ask questions about what we're talking about, okay? I love you guys so much. Please have an amazing rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for recorded #Whimsical Rebellion Wednesday. And yeah, shoot me all of your questions for Friday. This is going to be, I can feel it already. September was such a big month for growth and vitality and strengthening of things. And I know that October is going to be such a big month for being able to put what you need into words. I know it. I know September, I got a lot of jumbled questions, a lot of like, help, like help fix this area of my life. And just, they were questions because a lot of you need help, and because September was such a big month of expansion, you were like, I don't need where I need the help, but I just, a lot of stuff's moving really fast and I need the help. But I know October is going to be the month where the words come to you clearly and you're able to be like, okay, now the dust is settled, this is what I need to focus on. So I'm really looking forward to that. I love you guys so, 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 so much. Have an amazing rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you later.